guests and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to the Ask the Experts show with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Enjoy being educated in such topics as personal injury law, community association law, family law, bankruptcy law, along with health show topics like pain management, men's health, and dental implants. Now, sit back and enjoy today's Ask the Experts with host Steve-O.
Good afternoon. I am so excited about today. First of all, and if you've been outside, it feels like summer out there. It is so hot out there, and I'm going to tell you something. You do not want your air conditioning breaking down now unless you have a certain phone number, because they're going to get out there right away. Let me welcome our guest. I love this guy. He's got his EAQ hat on. That's for Environmental Air Quality, the owner, Thayne Brunsvold. Bro, I love doing the show with you.
I enjoy
You're like
it too.
cool. This guy's like people who are watching right now. You're a cool guy. And we have all of his shows up, or most of them up, on his website. But we have got so much to talk about. And at 3:30 today, we have a special show. Whether you're conservative or liberal, you don't want to miss this. We've got some amazing guests like Laura Loomer, and we have the president of the Broward County Sheriff's Department, Jeff Bell. He's head of the union. It's going to be a completely different show, but we are going to talk about air conditioning. Why did we not in Florida here, because in Texas we do, call it air conditioning and heating?
Well, some parts of Florida do have heating, but we're fortunate enough to be in the tropics here in South Florida.
I thought maybe you're just trying to save some money, not having to put heating on your card. But you do other things, though, besides air conditioning.
Yeah, we do refrigeration and mold removal and mold assessments.
Now, tell everybody about your company.
Well, we're an air conditioning company that's licensed both commercially and residentially. We handle both for homes and businesses for air conditioning. We also do refrigeration, ice machines, and stuff in restaurants. And then duct cleaning. And duct cleaning is something that we've been doing for a long time.
You know what? In the last couple of weeks, we've gotten a couple emails, and I just gave them your email address asking about duct cleaning. What is it, because of the time of the year? Why are people asking about duct cleaning now?
Well, I think we have a lot of snowbirds that come down this time of year.
That's right.
Yeah, and so we always see a spike in that type of service now. But we have duct cleaning year-round. I mean, it's something that improves your air quality. It's not something that you do, yearly. It's not necessary. If you go to the NAGCA website, the National Air Duct Cleaners Association, they discuss standards as far as having your ducts checked for cleanliness, how often it should be done, what types of services should be done to clean it. But we are a NAGCA registered company, so we follow their standards. And really every 5 to 7 years is something we find helps with the air quality in your home, having the ducts clean.
Well, I got to tell you, we put out on social media who's going to be on our show each week. Mm-hmm. You know what the biggest question is? Make sure you ask Thayne this. How often should I change my filters? Now, we've talked about this. Is that part of your service program, too?
Yes, it's definitely a part of our service program.
Because we're going to talk about that.
For those people that don't get it changed monthly, which is what's recommended, the good news is they get dirtier and they filter better. But that can also work against you.
I am always arguing with Renee. They told me it's every month. I said, I heard it's every 2 months. But Thayne says you should do it every month.
If you use a high-grade filter, maybe a little less often, but really monthly. Put it in when you pay your mortgage payment, so that way you're doing it each month, or some type of timed event that you do monthly.
But some people think 1, 2, and even one of the guys who wrote it said, because last time your operations manager was, and he told everybody what kind of filter to get, and people wrote, we had 2 people wrote, said, I thought it was 3 months, so people are listening, but you should change it every month.
Really, what you want to put in is a MERV 8 rated filter. MERV is maximum efficiency rating value. That's going to filter down to a certain molecule size and be affordable enough to where you're changing it out monthly. A lot of people have problems with sizes. There's a lot of different
I know.
sizes
I went
of
to Home
filters.
Depot. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Their sizes. I think it's 3 or 4 manufacturers. Each one had their own little area.
Yeah, there's standard sizes, and then there's everything else, and that everything else is a bigger area. Most of your air conditioner providers can get you filters that are custom fit. We can certainly do that, and I can tell you we can beat the prices on any of the big
Really?
big
You know what
retailers.
someone else asked us is, if you're a smoker, does that do anything to the filters?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
have to change them more often if you smoke in the house?
Well, absolutely. I mean, smoking in the house creates smoke molecules. They just float in the air. They land, everywhere in your house, but also get sucked into your filter. So the filter, those molecules are large enough that they're definitely going to get caught in any MERV-rated 8 filter.
We want to talk also a little bit about air quality. I mean, that's all we hear about is clean air. Air quality is very important. And if you got mold and mildew, it's really important.
Oh, absolutely. EPA puts it at one of the top 5 biggest problems for the EPA, and we have a lot of different things you can use for air quality improvement. Duct cleaning is certainly one that you want to do. Doing your maintenance on a semi-annual basis on your air conditioner is something you want to do, and something as simple as changing that filter, have it fit properly, and getting it changed every month.
Do most people just kind of change their filter or service their air conditioning when it breaks down? Because I want to talk about your service.
Well, it's funny you say that, because really it's kind of that out of sight, out of mind thing. You don't see it. You don't see your air quality really necessarily unless there is a problem,
Right.
unless you notice a smell, unless you are not cooling properly. Then it's like getting hit in
Or
the
your
head.
air conditioner breaks down. I think, to me, it would seem like if you're on a service program, there's so many things that you do on your service program.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we definitely are going to come out and take care of the equipment. We're going to send you reminders when things need to get done. We send monthly reminders for people that need to change their filters, because we have people that have asked us to do this. It's not a problem.
So you have a checklist when you go out on your service accounts, because there's got to be a lot of things you check for.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things we check for. We're looking at the electrical side of the system, making sure everything's tight. We'll look at some of the smaller electrical components. We check your Freon levels, make sure they're dialed in exactly where they're supposed to be. We check your indoor temperature versus your return temperature to make sure you're getting that maximum spread of temperature drop in the home. We change your filter. We blow out your drain line. There's a number of things we do.
Do you know, because we've talked about the place that we were in, it only had one unit, and there was no way that one unit could cool the whole house.
Mm-hmm.
What if you're selling your house or buying a house? Could they hire you to come out to see if the air conditioning is working? Because I had this feeling that people who bought our house, I don't know if they were ever told, that you're going to need a bigger unit, because it's never been changed.
It's a black hole.
Okay.
That topic you're
But
talking
can you
about.
tell if it's...
We get calls all the time to do that. We work with a lot of different realtors, and they have us
So if
come
you're
out
buying
and
a
check.
house.
Buying or selling even. Some people are very conscientious about what they're selling. They want to make sure that the product they're putting out there to sell, their home, is really going to be one that jumps out above others. So making sure that's dialed in and they see that we've come out, then that's big.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something. I know a lot of people they're sitting in their cars right now listening to the show, and there's a lot of people who just watch it we have snowbirds that listen to the show in New York when they come down here, especially you snowbirds that are coming back here. You've been gone for the last 6 months. You should get your air conditioning serviced when you get here.
Yeah. No, it's especially on a 6-month basis. A lot of the snowbirds come about now and leave around Mother's Day, so it's about a 6-month period.
Right.
We have lots of them that just, when they get down here, just before we're going over there and making sure everything's dialed in and operating perfectly, and then when they leave, same thing. And so they have peace of mind. Peace of mind means a lot.
Oh, absolutely. So here's what I want you to do, because, You know, you don't think about air conditioning companies until you have a problem.
Of course.
And then what we used to do in the old days, we'd look through the yellow pages and we would look at who had the biggest ad.
Yeah.
Like that made them the best.
Absolutely.
We don't do that anymore.
No.
So now we have Google, but just because you Google doesn't mean you're getting someone that you don't have to worry about who are absolutely tremendous at what they do. That's what's so great about this show. Thayne's company, they are our experts. So what I want to ask you to do is I want you to write this phone number down. And you might not need it today, but you might need it next week. And you're going to go, why didn't I write that phone number down? Write this phone number down, because this is what I call a peace of mind. Give everybody your phone number.
Our phone number is 561-686-8926.
And your website?
Website is envirotechair.com.
We're going to go to break. You better write that number down. We're going to give it to you again, so not to worry. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we have a lot more Envirotech air quality. Thayne Brunsvold.
At Envirotech Air Quality Services, their qualified technicians are experts in the air conditioning and heating field. They make sure to stay up to date with the latest technology and methods so that they can provide their Palm Beach area customers with superior HVAC services. Their technicians are trained by well-known manufacturers and suppliers in the industry, such as Trane and Johnstone Supply. Envirotech Air Quality Services serves over 500 residential and commercial customers, many of whom are long-term clients. A large portion of their business comes from customer referrals, and they are the preferred AC vendor to two of the largest polo clubs in the region. They value each and every customer and tailor their services and recommendations to their needs and financial situations. Thayne Brunsvold, the president of Envirotech Air Quality Services, oversees each project with his hands-on approach on each job. Ask about their free 12-month residential service contract. Contact Envirotech Air Quality Services today at 561-327-4486.
And we are back. This is the Ask the Expert show. We are here today with an expert. He's been with us for a while. He's going to be with us for a long time. Every month. The name of the company is Envirotech Air Quality Services. You cover all of Palm Beach.
Yes.
You cover all of Broward.
Yes.
What do I miss?
Martin, St. Lucie.
Martin?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And again, I was talking about before, you never know when your air conditioning is going to break down. And I got to tell you something. If you've never had your air conditioning break down and it's going to take 2 or 3 days to fix it, listen, look how hot it is. We're in October, 90 degrees.
Yeah.
It's just, you cannot, and you've got to have a company that you know you can trust. And that's why I love this show. I love that we have Thayne's company. The phone number again is
561-686-8926.
I hope you wrote that down. We're going to give it to you towards the end of the show. And make sure you stay with us at 3:30, especially you liberals. You're not going to want to miss this show. We've already got all the conservatives from 3:30 to 4, some incredible guests coming on with us. So I wanted to talk to you about mold and mildew, because this is mold and mildew country. When you're close to the water, that's usually where mold and mildew is going to set in.
Definitely close to the water, anywhere where you have water in the home. Air conditioners, if you're not having that maintenance done and your drain line backs up, that's the silent drip that you never hear about. You're getting water into the home, water, food, which is any kind of dust, you can have mold. And so having that...
And get sick.
Damage your asset, your home, cost you thousands of dollars. It's not like going in and just ripping out a wall. You have to use engineering controls to remove it. It's becomes a very costly, frustrating situation to get in.
How does someone know if they have mold?
Well,
Is it always a color that shows up?
that's the easy way. When you
Okay.
see it growing, I mean, that you know right away.
Where do you look for it at?
We look for it anywhere where you can have water penetrations.
So
we do
ceilings?
ceilings. We use infrared technology. So whenever we go to a home for the assessments, we're looking at walls for moisture. We're looking at ceilings for moisture. We're getting in the attic to look for color differentiations, which will tell you temperature changes on an infrared camera. We look at all those, basically the outdoor envelope.
So we have all these homeowners that are listening to the show now.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have infrared. Mm-hmm. What do they have? How do they know that they could have mold and mildew?
Well, it's one of those things: touch, taste, smell.
You want to taste it? First you talk about assets. Now you talk about tasting it. Dang.
Some people
This
like
isn't
their
a family
cheese
show.
moldy.
Yeah, right. But is it brown? Is it?
It comes in all colors.
It does.
It really does.
I know
White.
there's a lot of different molds.
Oh
out there.
yeah, whites, greens, blacks.
So what if you're coughing a lot? Could that be a sign?
We get a lot of calls for people, and certainly, yes. Again, that's the indoor air quality. If you have a very dirty air conditioner, I mean, dust and dander can cause those problems in addition to mold. So yeah, whenever you all of a sudden start feeling symptoms in your home that you don't have when you're outside, it certainly could be something you should pay attention to.
So if a person has mold, what's the process? You tell them they have a mold problem. Do they have to leave while you work on their home?
Well, not necessarily. It depends on the
How bad it
extent
is.
of what it is. Yeah, we see all different kinds. We see it where it's growing on ceilings and it's everywhere. You're not going to want to be in that house. If it's isolated to an area, we always have to build plastic walls around the area, put scrubbers in there, dehumidifiers.
Wow, it's a process.
That contains it. Yeah, that contains it. You don't want it to spread. That
Right.
becomes a bigger problem. So if you can catch it early and you keep it contained, everything is going to be easier to deal with than if you ignore it.
Some of these we get so much rain down here, and some of these roofs that have leaks. Can mold build up there too?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, mold can, with the roof leaks especially, what will happen is the water may sit on top of the drywall. It won't soak through, and now you've got a problem that's above the drywall. And so it eventually is going to cause you problems in the home. And again, it's definitely causing problems to your home as far as the, keeping it upkeep.
It's so obvious that Thayne knows the business. We're going to talk about different kinds of air filters in a minute, but I want people to know, to understand that you never know when you're going to have a problem. And when that air conditioning goes out, it's the worst. And I want you to know that here we're giving you a company, an air conditioning company that we endorse. That's why they're on our show. That you should always have this number handy because you never know. You don't want to start going through the Google process because that doesn't tell you anything. So write this number down, 561.
686-8926.
And if you want to go to their website,
Envirotechair.com.
so we can already see that this is what you've got to do. And I want to also, if you're not on some kind of a service, and you come out how many times a year on a service program?
Well, we have a single visit program, but also your best value is your twice a year visit.
Twice a year. I mean, how can you go wrong? I mean, especially when it comes to an air conditioning. You know what? When your car, you hear funny noises in your car, or doesn't feel right, boy, you get that car in right away. But an air conditioner, you might hear a noise, it'll go away, or it's not cooling something's not right. They don't always call an air conditioning company right away.
There's a lot of hidden things that can happen that you don't know. I mean, you could have a system that is dirty, it's not operating efficiently. You may notice your bill's higher now. I mean, and now you're paying
Yes.
more before you get to where you should have just been proactive, been on top of it, and maintain the integrity of your system.
One of the things that someone asked us about is to explain the benefits of charcoal filter for air quality.
So there are a lot of different filters on the market.
What do you recommend?
Well, I mean, it's going to be, every home is a little bit different, but charcoal filtration, we have a product that we sell called the Carbon XM, which is actually a UV light that works in conjunction with charcoal. And what activated charcoal does is it removes smells from the air. The UV works to kill. So it's killing your viruses and your bacteria and your molds. Charcoal will filter smells out. We get a lot of calls for people that say there's a smell in their house, it's bothering them. Charcoal is going to help you with that.
Does it work for pets?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Wow.
sure. Danders from pets. There's anything that puts off a smell. Cooking. A lot of people do certain cooking, leave smells. That will help. All of your all the things in your house will produce off-gassing or volatile organic compounds. It'll help with your VOCs as well. So it is definitely something. And there's a lot of different forms of charcoal, activated charcoal filters that you can get. And give us a call. We're happy to help you out with that.
So I don't know if you can help my Uncle Ed. I don't know. Some of those smells, I don't know. They get rid of that. No, sorry, Uncle Ed.
We digress.
So pets, what about smoke damage?
Smoke as well. It will help as well. I mean, smoke damage is really a frustrating thing to have to deal with because it can even get behind cabinetry, and cigarette smoke can definitely be very damaging in your home. But these types of products, the charcoal filters, will certainly help with that.
So I'm going to ask you, and I want you to be totally honest so you can pat yourself on the back. Why should I hire your company?
Well, we're definitely a company that's different than other guys because we do focus on air quality when we come into the home. I mean, that's what I got into the business because I actually had duct cleaning done in my home and thought it was great and found out more about it and see the benefits of it. So we're going to come in with the approach of, yes, we're going to fix your equipment, we're going to maintain your equipment, but we're concerned about your indoor air quality, health of your kids and your animals, and so.
And I know your service is impeccable, and that's important. Do you have an emergency number, or do they just need to call you the next morning?
Call our number. We're picking up the phone all the time. So
Okay.
that's all you need to do.
You know, there's something about when the air condition goes out, it's always at the weirdest hours of the day. And it's 7, like how about 8 o'clock at night? Well, no one's open at 8 o'clock at night, but they do break down.
No, they do. And those times I have certain customers, it seems like it's always a holiday on the weekend.
Right.
But they're on top of it. It just so happens. But, I mean, that's why it is important to stay on top of that maintenance. Make sure you're taking care of it so you don't have those surprise breakouts.
And this is the owner. This is coming from the owner that you're getting to hear the show from. And Thayne is on with us twice a month. He's on with us, both on 1470 and 740 AM. And there's a reason for that. And again, I don't know why does it bug me so much that when we have an expert like yourself, that people will go to Google somebody, because that doesn't tell you. It's like the Yellow Pages. It's like who's got the biggest and the best bad what website. That doesn't mean they're the best.
No.
And they used to do that with Yellow Pages. Oh, they got a full-page ad. Well, that doesn't mean anything. They bought a full-page ad, and the salesperson was probably really good in those days. But here we are, and we know we have a lot of listeners in Boca and Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale. Here's a way that you're going to have a phone number. It's almost like your best friend recommending someone who's used the company before. This is a very important thing to know, because you just never know. I love what you guys do. I think it's amazing. And let's give everybody your phone number again.
It's 561-686-8926.
And the website
is Envirotechair.com.
So, now, do you have your truck downstairs?
I didn't bring my truck today.
Bro, I got to teach you about marketing.
Definitely bring it next time.
Yeah, and you know what? I got to tell you, last month, you had your operations manager on.
Yeah, Rich Edmondson.
Rich, this guy was really, really good. He knows the business. So this kind of shows you how you run your company, that you want to make sure you have the best of the best.
Yeah, he's retired Air Force reservist. He's very conservative, knowledgeable.
Was he nervous?
Guy. He's awesome. No, he told me nothing. He wasn't nervous in the least bit. I wanted to be here. I got tied up in some projects, as we talked about. And he loved it, actually. He enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, he was really good. Maybe one time you both can come in at the same time.
Yeah, we could do
that. I
that.
would love that.
Yeah,
That would be great. And we've got so many more shows coming up. Again, the name of the company, it's Envirotech Air Quality Services. And one more time with the phone number.
561-686-8926.
And we're going to go to a break right now. And when we come back, we have the most incredible show. Thayne, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
I love doing the show with you.
Thank you. Me too.
And we'll be right back.
You are listening to the Ask the
At Envirotech Air Quality Services, their qualified technicians are experts in the air conditioning and heating field. They make sure to stay up to date with the latest technology and methods so that they can provide their Palm Beach area customers with superior HVAC services. Their technicians are trained by well-known manufacturers and suppliers in the industry, such as Thayne and Johnstone Supply. Envirotech Air Quality Services serves over 500 residential and commercial customers, many of whom are long-term clients. A large portion of their business comes from customer referrals, and they are the preferred AC vendor to two of the largest polo clubs in the region. They value each and every customer and tailor their services and recommendations to their needs and financial situations. Thayne Brunsvold, the president of Envirotech Air Quality Services, oversees each project with his hands-on approach on each job. Ask about their free 12-month residential service contract. Contact Envirotech Air Quality Services today at 561-327-4486.
And we are back. We had one of our shows today that couldn't make it, and it's what we call a time release show, meaning they give out dates and everything. So they couldn't do the show today. And if you remember, Renee and I used to have a morning show for 2 years. That was incredible. We have the greatest listeners, but our show was a political show. And I thought, since we've got this 30 minutes, there's so many things going on today, we decided just to do a political show today. And I was driving over here. I was listening to one of the shows on here. I'm not going to say which one. I got so irritated because they were upset about the vote last night for Scott Israel. And they didn't think he deserved it. They thought it was unconstitutional. And I got to tell you, anybody who voted, any senator last night who voted to bring Scott Israel back needs to have their head examined. And I'm sure the show that was talking about this isn't going to like that. And God forbid anything ever happens to one of their kids. And I'm saying God forbid. We'll see how they vote, because it wasn't just the one incident that happened. It was many things that happened during Scott Israel, his reign. So today at 3:45, in about the next 15 minutes, we have Jeff Bell coming on. Jeff Bell is head of the Broward County Sheriff's Union. And he is amazing. And we're going to talk about that, because originally, I don't know if you remember, the Sheriff's Union gave Scott Israel a no vote of confidence. Wonder why they did that. So at 3:45, we will be talking about that. But our first guest, I got to tell you, she was on our show all the time in the morning. We're actually getting her on the phone as we speak, but she was with us every week. She is an investigative reporter. Her name is Laura Loomer. And Laura Loomer, listen, she had guts that no one had. The things that she did, and you know what was amazing about it is the things she discovered that she reported on have all come true. This woman is amazing, and she is now going to be running. I am so glad she is going to be running for Congresswoman. District 21. I think that's here in Boca or Palm Beach. But I tell you what, she is definitely has my vote. I guess, put her neck on the line for all of us, and we all owe her a big thanks because she lost everything because she wanted to tell the truth, from Facebook to Twitter, and she'll tell you about this. Amazing. Even PayPal. And we are lucky enough, I think she's on the phone, we are lucky enough to have Laura Loomer.
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, there you are. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Long time no talk.
I know. Laura, I got to tell you something. I was just telling our listeners how you put your neck on the line. It wasn't just for yours. It was for everybody. You stuck your neck out there, and all the things that you were reporting on a year or 2 years ago that some people laughed, they all turned out to be true.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, there's
Good.
Renee.
I'm here too. It's Renee.
Well,
I didn't want to miss the opportunity, so I hear that you're running for Congress. As a matter of fact, I have to correct Steve-O because he said in Boca, but I believe it's Delray and Boynton Beach, District 21. Am I correct?
21. I'm running for Congress in District 21 as a Republican against Lois Frankel, who, is a 4-term Democrat incumbent, best friends with Nancy Pelosi, and just another one of the do-nothing Democrats. So, I'm very excited. My first FEC report just came out for the third quarter, and I out-fundraised Lois Frankel. And I did so.
Oh, good for you.
And facing this unfair challenge of being banned on all the social media platforms while Lois Frankel has access to all social media. But look, the big tech social media companies and the radical left has done everything in their power to try to sabotage me and silence me. But what they're learning is that they can try to kill the messenger, but they can't kill the message. And the American people and the people of District 21 are very receptive to what I've been saying and my message. And me as an individual. And come November, we're going to unseat Lois Frankel and flip the district red and give President Donald Trump a Republican representative in his own backyard.
Well, you got a big endorsement.
I see Michelle Malkin
Yeah.
has endorsed you, which is pretty impressive.
Yes, yesterday Michelle Malkin published an op-ed in which she endorsed me in my candidacy. So that was all very exciting. I've also been endorsed by Representative Paul Gosart, a member of the Freedom Caucus, and several other people. So I'm really excited, and I'm sure that in the coming weeks more endorsements will come. But
you have our endorsement. You do. We're really excited that you're running.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very excited as well, and I'm really looking forward to just hitting the campaign trail more and getting to know people in the district and talking to voters and finally just giving them a representative who will actually listen to them and their needs and answer their questions.
Renee, can you imagine Laura with all these secret meetings the Congress is doing? She would be in their face.
I'm actually watching right now. Lindsey Graham is doing something about it. He's trying to, finally.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that Lindsey Graham has decided to do something besides write letters. I'm glad that.
Well, just speak up, because all he does is just a lot of, verbal diarrhea, but just do something about it.
Well, and as a lot of people have said, a lot of these people just go on TV, they go on Fox News, and they complain about things, but you got to do a little bit more than just complain on Fox News, right? So
that's exactly it.
We need representatives who are going to act, people who are going to take action and stand with President Trump and really actually put their foot down and speak out against this radical left-wing coup against the president that we're witnessing from the halls of Congress. So unfortunately, we have people on both sides of the aisle who have been reluctant to really do anything, people who have gotten politically fat and lazy off of their 6-figure salaries as representatives. So we have do-nothing members of Congress on both sides of the aisle, mostly in the Democrat Party, and that's why I'm running, because
I know. We're excited about that. And did you see all the congressmen yesterday storming the SCIF, Adam Schiff?
That was
great.
great.
I just want to say, I was the first one that said, shifty ship. President Trump got that terminology from me.
Yeah. Well, I was glad to see. It was almost as if they got loomered yesterday. It was great seeing.
I loved it.
Storm the room, and I hope to see more of that in Congress, because the left does it all the time. They do sit-ins. They're very disruptive. They're disrespectful. And so why shouldn't the Republicans use the same tactics against the left? Why is it okay in this country for the left to do one thing and it's not okay for Republicans to do the same thing? Right? So
because you got the media on the same team, that's why. Because when you see news and people watch the news and they can't imagine it's all propaganda, so that's why. So they have the media as like partners, and that's why they do that, because they get away with it. Nobody calls them out. But the Republicans, it's finally, time for them to fight back. And Trump said, you got to fight back. I mean, Democrats stick together, they fight dirty, and the Republicans have to take a page out of the Democratic handbook and start fighting back. So I was glad to see that yesterday.
Hey, Renee,
and Matt Gaetz is wonderful.
Renee,
Florida.
our
He's
phones are
wonderful.
ringing off the hook. Joe, can we bring in Sean? Our phones are ringing off the wall here at the studio.
That's because we have Laura Luma once again.
Let's see if we
people
could get
love Laura
Sean
Luma.
on here. Sean was a big listener of ours. Are you there, Sean?
I'm here, Steve.
Oh, there you
Renee,
are.
And the beautiful Laura Loomer. Oh, my God.
Thank you.
Stop having your
I
relatives
cannot
call
wait
here,
to
Laura.
help campaign for her. It's going to be fantastic.
I'm excited. Are you in my district, Sean?
He'll
I'm not
move.
here. I'm down in South Miami, the Kendall location. But hey, if I can help out, I most certainly will. I've heard you so many times on Steve and Renee show.
And no matter
It's
where
fantastic.
You are,
I'm
really,
so happy for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. And I encourage people like you and others to sign up at lauraloomerforcongress.com, because look, it doesn't matter whether you live in Florida or whether you live outside of the state of Florida in the United States somewhere. Everybody can use their voice. Everybody can donate. Everybody can come together to make sure that we flip this district, because it's time for Congress to have a real fighter, somebody who isn't afraid of taking on the radical left. And that's what I was doing. I was confronting the most problematic members of the Democrat Party before I was banned on social media. And now that I've been banned, they've effectively ended my ability to do so in a journalistic manner.
I know. So what's going on, Laura, in terms of like Twitter or Facebook and everything else? What's going on with that?
Well, I've sued these companies, and litigation is slow, and so I'm waiting.
But they still have you're still not on there.
My case against Facebook, Twitter, Google, and Apple will be heard in the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. Yesterday, CARE Florida, CARE is, of course, a terrorist organization. They were coordinating with the left-wing media all throughout South Florida, from Miami up to Palm Beach, to get the left-wing journalists to just basically publish lies about me and falsely accuse me of being anti-Muslim and a conspiracy theorist. And it's almost as if the Palm Beach Post was like writing the press release for CARE, because CARE used the article from the Palm Beach Post and made it their press release on their site. And of course, the Palm Beach Post is the paper here where I'm running for office. But, we have such a dishonest media.
We do.
Oh, my God, it's terrible.
They interview me. I answer all their questions. They ask me if I'm alt-right. I say, no, of course not. I'm Jewish. They print I'm alt-right. So we're dealing with some of the most dishonest people who just want to, see good, honest people like myself and other hardworking Americans fail. And they're clearly rooting for Lois Frankel and clearly pushing fake news in an effort to sabotage me and my candidacy. So,
no, we need you in Washington badly.
Yeah, trust them.
Laura, tell everybody how they can donate to your campaign.
Well, you can go to lauraloomerforcongress.com, and you can click the donate button. You can donate online, or you can donate with a check. The information to do so is on my campaign site. But even if you can't donate, please sign up so that you can get email updates from me, because it's not like we're going to be able to follow each other on Facebook and Twitter, am I right?
Right.
So you're going to have to follow me on my website, and you can email me Laura at lauraloomerforcongress.com. I want to hear from all of you.
Well, I tell you what, you've got us, and we don't have as much time as we used to on our other show, but we are definitely going to have you back again. And just one more time, just tell everybody again how they can donate.
Go to lauraloomerforcongress.com, and then you'll enter your email address, and you'll see a big green donate button on the homepage of my website, and you can click that and donate.
Well, we will do anything we can to help because we need you in Congress.
Oh, my God, absolutely.
Thank
Drain
you for
that
calling,
swamp, Laura. Drain
and
that swamp.
we're going to have you back on again.
And thanks for calling
Thanks,
in, Sean.
Laura.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Love you guys.
Renee, don't you go anywhere.
Oh, I'm not going no place. You're trying to get rid of me. Listen, I can't reach you on your regular phone, so I have to call the station. I already know the
Renee
drill.
ain't going
I
nowhere.
call the cell phone. You don't hear the ring. You hear nothing. So I said, you know what? I'm going to call the station.
Sean, you're supposed to be helping me.
Sean's not going to help you.
Hey, if I have to choose,
You haven't learned that as of yet.
I'm jumping ship.
Oh, my
I'm
God,
on
there's
board
so
with
much
Renee.
going on, and not being on the radio, it's like killing me.
Anything
You
happened
have
this
the warrant out
afternoon?
there.
Anything happened this afternoon?
Well, I was just telling you, Lindsey Graham was on the air. Lindsey
Oh.
Graham, he was doing this whole news conference. Let's see if he does something, take up stuff in the Senate as far as what they're doing with this whole illegal impeachment hearings, that lack thereof, and saying, listen, take a vote. If you want to do something, if you want to impeach the president, put it on record. Take a vote. Let it be fair. So they're trying to do, something that's not fair right now as far as this whole process. Leak out information that they feel, would benefit them and hurt the president, which is so unfair. Is Sean still there?
I'm still here,
Good.
honey, listening to every word you got to say.
Oh, my goodness
You know,
gracious.
we
So how
have,
about you, Sean?
Hey, Sean,
Oh,
we
I've been staying busy, sweetheart. Been staying busy, and my ears are bleeding for Steve-O and Renee. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, Sean,
Yeah.
we have Jeff Bell coming. He should be calling in any minute now to talk about what happened last night in Tallahassee. Jeff Bell is the president of the Broward County Sheriff's Department's union, good friend of the show, and we're gonna talk about, because there was a show on here today talking about what a big mistake they made voting Israel out. We got silent. What happened?
Well, I'm on the phone. I'm following your lead. For once, I'm following. Usually, you follow my lead, but I'm not in the studio live with you, so I'm just waiting.
Well,
to
you know what? I wanted
take a turn
to
talking.
I wanted to.
But I just want to talk to him. I know that, thank God, Sheriff Israel, that he is no longer going to, have any. I guess he was voted down. Thank God. But I want to talk to Jeff Bell because, we keep talking about, safety in the schools and safety in the schools. And now that we, thank God, Sheriff Israel is not going to be back on board, although he's thinking about running again, which I hope that people don't go down party line and make, the wrong choices to reinstate him or vote him in once again, because he's not good for Broward County. I mean, not just for Douglas, but for the Fort Lauderdale Airport, that instance. I mean, he needs to be out. But I wanted to talk to Jeff Bell, and when he gets on, what are they doing as far as school security? Because,
Hey, guys.
I kept saying as soon as this, the shootings happened at Douglas, before I would even let my kid go back there, where are the metal detectors?
Yeah, really.
I mean, I don't even
Jeff
understand
Bell?
that. I mean, you have
Okay.
metal detectors.
Hey, we
before
have
it
Jeff
happens.
Bell. We've got Jeff Bell on the phone.
Oh, my goodness. I have so much to ask him.
I know our phones are ringing off the wall. Jeff Bell. Hey, Jeff.
Hey guys, how are you
Hey.
today?
Good.
Jeff,
Hey,
how you
thanks for
doing?
hopping on
Good.
with
Thanks
us
for having
such.
me on. It's nice to be back.
Yeah, we miss you, bro. So, yesterday, last night, they made a decision in Tallahassee, but I wanted to, and Jeff you're the president of the Broward County Sheriff's Department's union, and I got to tell you, I've talked to a lot of the people in the union, sheriff's deputies. They love you.
Well, I appreciate
Oh, Jeff's a
it.
nice guy.
Even if he's writing you a ticket. But your union had given Scott Israel a no vote.
A no confidence vote.
Yeah, we had that vote last April, shortly after the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, where 85% of the deputies agreed that they did not have confidence in Scott Israel. I would be safe to say that if we took that poll today, the numbers would be much higher than that.
Wow.
Based on his behavior over the last year. But I do think that the right decision was made last night in permanently removing him from office. It certainly exposed some flaws in the process that maybe the state Senate could take this opportunity and fix some of the old rules and the old laws. But, it's a process that we have in place right now. It may not be the best process, but it's the one that we have. So we work within the rules and the confines of the law, and that's exactly what they did yesterday.
Thank God. And you know something? I'm really appalled because the senator from Parkland,
Kevin Rader.
She actually voted for him to be reinstated. I mean, that's unbelievable because for those that don't, are not aware of it, Stoneman Douglas is in Parkland. So the fact that she voted to reinstate him is just, it's just outrageous.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in all the senators from Broward, how they stood with their party line instead of looking at all the facts of what happened. I mean, when Lauren Book, I don't know what report she was reading, because apparently yesterday she had the information that there was a machine gun that was used at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. That's the first time that I've ever heard of a machine gun. So she's wrong on that fact. And then she brings up the point that if Scott Israel is removed, then the probable cause that is on the arrest for Scott Peterson would just disappear. Another misrepresentation of the law. What she doesn't understand is that a procedural hearing, an administrative hearing that we had yesterday, has nothing to do with the criminal court case that the state attorney has tried to bring against Scott Peterson. So she's wrong on every level, but what interest does she have in Scott Israel's reinstatement? Her father's connection, Ron Book, powerful lobbyist with the state of Florida, and his close connection and working ties with Scott Israel. You got to keep the money flowing, and that's exactly what she wants. It's not about doing the right thing and making a tough decision when it's not the popular choice, but it's about her own financial interest. And then you look at Senator Thurston there. What's his interest to keep him reinstated? He admitted yesterday it's the Mount Olive Church connection, which is where Wayne Barton loves to bring in his LETF money that he gets from the sheriff's office and brings the turkeys down to Mount Olive Church, where the sheriff and Perry Thurston and the pastors that are on our payroll like to hand out the turkeys at the church. So essentially we're buying votes out of certain communities with law enforcement trust fund money, and we're buying votes in other communities by employing fathers of senators. So it's nothing but money.
So,
money,
thank God. You know something? Thank God. I know the vote was 25-15. Thank God that he's not going to be reinstated. But from what I see and what I hear, obviously he's looking to run again. So, I really hope that people are not going to go down party line with this and just look at, the stuff that went wrong. So.
Well, I think the main reason why he's running is for his pension. In the state of Florida, if you're an elected official, you do 2 terms in office, and a sheriff would qualify under this. If you do 2 terms, so a total of 8 years, you're going to get a guaranteed pension for $166,000 for the rest of your life. Scott Israel is 2 years short of that. So it's a big financial incentive to run for sheriff in 2020. Whether or not he can pull it off or not, that's the big unknown, but
I know we got to get the word out.
To Mayor Barry.
Lots of Democrats in Broward County, Jeff.
Yeah, they are, but there's 6 candidates under the race for sheriff in Broward County right now on the Democratic side. So
let me ask you this, because I was just talking, before you came on. What are they doing as far as school safety? Because that's a real concern. Like I always talk about, my son, he goes to college, and my daughter's at another school. And it's really concerning that nothing, from what I see, from my perspective, that, metal detectors. Before my kids even stepped foot into Stoneman Douglas, especially, because there was an incident right after, that there should be metal detectors at the school. You got metal detectors in the courthouses and the libraries and hospitals, but none to protect our children. I keep saying this over and over again, but it just blows me away that nothing's happened.
Yeah, we talked about this not the beginning of this school year, but the beginning of the prior school year, where just before the school year started, there were supposed to be metal detectors put in Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, and then it was Rosalind Osgood on the school board who said, no, we can't do that. We need to have more conversations about putting metal detectors in there. Well, it's a year and a half later, and there is yet to be a single conversation about putting the metal detectors inside the schools and keeping them safer.
Yeah, from what I understand, they said something about aesthetics, about the appearance, the looks of it. I mean, come on. Who cares about what it looks like? And who cares if you have to have more than one entry point into the school? I mean, it's the safety of our children.
Exactly. They didn't have a problem with the privacy when they were handing out clear backpacks after the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas incident, but now they have a problem with privacy when it happens to go through a metal detector.
And who's to say somebody hasn't? Who's to say somebody couldn't come in and stick a knife in their bra? I mean, I think one girl did that.
Absolutely.
I mean, so even if you have clear, backpacks, that doesn't mean that somebody's, that somebody's not coming in with something. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. I mean, you have to have metal detectors.
Jeff, how are
I
things
agree 100%.
now with the new police chief? How's the temperature of the members?
With our new sheriff?
Yes.
Still
Uh-oh.
Still out to pasture right now. We stood behind Sheriff Tony on January 11th, side by side with the governor as he was put in. We extended not only an olive branch but an olive tree.
I remember that.
To the sheriff to try and make sure that he succeeds. We had our first meeting on February 25th with the sheriff, and we've yet to have any direct communication with the sheriff since February 25th. So there's an unknown and uncertainty between the communication. And it's not just this union, it's all the unions in the sheriff's office. There's no direct communication to resolve issues in the most efficient possible way with the sheriff. So that's unfortunate. But listen, even if there's no communication, our deputies are going out there every day and doing their job and protecting the citizens, because we are loyal to the citizens of Broward County and upholding the Constitution in the state of Florida, not so much who the sheriff is, because sheriffs come and go, but we're still here at the end of the day.
I know that. Is it different now? I mean, I have never seen so many police officers to get murdered. I mean, it's like we're almost becoming numb to it. I don't even know. It's got to be hard now to recruit police officers, sheriff deputies.
It is. It's not just the attack on the police where you see police officers being assassinated nationwide. It's the scrutiny. Nobody wants to become the next poster child on CNN and have the media staked outside their house and be vilified in the media when you did absolutely nothing wrong. I mean, for example, we had the Tamarack 3 who were put on administrative leave and then criminally charged. Well, here comes the first case, not guilty. And we already know that the next two cases are going to be the same exact outcome. And even though it's traditional that we let the criminal case play out first, for some reason this administration ran the internal affair investigation while the criminal case was still going. Now, we've already had the Professional Standards Committee vote to exonerate all three deputies of any internal disciplinary recommendations before the criminal trial even came forward. But the administration decided to overrule them and find guilt in the use of force and recommend termination for one deputy. Now, how do you go against 11 people, 4 of them of which are your hand-picked people from the community by the sheriff, and you're going to overrule 11 people? I mean, this is a democracy here. It's not.
What would be the incentive to want to be a Broward sheriff? I mean, you look at even New York. I mean, I was outraged when I saw, people in New York, the police officers, water being thrown at them and all sorts of stuff. And I said, I can't even believe. I mean, that's outrageous.
Hey,
we
guys,
just
you're not
one of our richest contracts in the history of the sheriff's office, but yet we're still approximately 157 deputies short on the road. I mean, we're working overtime at an incredible rate, but that can only go on so long before people start getting burnt out and our lives start to be put at risk because we're working too much. So we need to get back into the basic raise the starting salary, which the agency does not want to do, and they refuse to even entertain the idea We need to go back to the military and start recruiting people that are coming out of the armed forces, and we got away from that under the last administration. Those are our best trained people coming back from areas like Iraq and Afghanistan, Syria. Get that training, take advantage of it, and let them go back to serving the community.
That's our Hey, Jeff, we're going to have you back on as much as we can. We love what you're doing at the Broward
Thanks
Show.
guys so much.
Yeah, and
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
we'll have you back again. And thanks, Renee. It was fun doing this again.
No problem. See you later. Bye.
Don't forget to tune in today at 5 o'clock for more Ask the Experts on 1470 AM.
Thanks for listening to the Ask the Expert Show, featuring interviews with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Call our office at 888-574-6999 to become one of our experts on the show. And tune in again next week for more Ask the Experts with Steve-O.